Today we have one of the up and comers of jiu-jitsu, probably the next big thing in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Comes out of Sydney. He is fresh off the rooster weight world championship win at the 2021 World Championships in December last year.
Woo.
Welcome, Varun Mehrotra. How do I pronounce your surname?
Mehrotra.
Mehrotra.
Cool. Where
It's good enough. That's one of the better pronunciations I've heard over the years.
Very nice.
where does the name Mehrotra come from, brother?
Both my parents are Indian.
Ah, cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
don't look like it before, but here we are.
What's the
Well, I'm actually Sri Lankan, so
Okay. Oh man.
there you go. There we're
On your
geographically close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your mother's side, I'm assuming. Yeah, because of the name
Yeah.
cousin. Yeah.
No, that's my married name. My maiden name was
Okay.
DeVos. Yeah,
Yeah.
different name. So yeah. So thanks for joining us. It took a little. We had some scheduling issues. You're a very busy man. So tell us about where you are at the moment. You're up in Sydney, or are you elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm chilling in Sydney now, just relaxing and just like having a good time over here. It's nice and sunny compared to New York, so enjoying that.
wow?
You spend most of your time there in New York, is that right? What's your schedule?
I spent more time in Sydney just because the pandemic and everything, but ideally it's like 50-50, probably a little more over here just because of visas and stuff, but more time over here.
Yeah, your accent's definitely in the Australian camp, man. So I'm imagining you spent most of your life here. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've only been to New York like a few times, like 3 times, like once when I was like, I don't know, 14, just went over there for like a holiday for family, and then the other 2 times have just been like for jiu-jitsu.
And what about India? Like, is there strong, like, do you go there very often, or?
No, I really want to make my way out there. Yeah.
My roots are Israeli. I've never been to Israel. So it's like,
Yeah.
People think I should know something about my culture, but I just don't.
Yeah, we're phonies.
Yeah, that's right.
And Varun, you're only 20 years old, is that right?
Yep, that's it.
I think you may actually be our youngest guest that we've had on as well. So how did you get started in jiu-jitsu? Tell us about that.
I just had I was in like year 1, I think, and I just had a mate that did it, and then like my mum spoke with their mum, and how they are basically like a play date going to jiu-jitsu, and then what do you call it? Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then like also motivation to like beat up my brother. My mum described it as like WWE, so of course you had to jump in, and then from there just like kept on doing it, right?
Yeah, that's interesting actually, because like Joe Rogan talks about, like, in MMA, people are now starting in MMA. For example, they don't do karate or something and then move to MMA. And also now, actually, what I'm just hearing here is some people start with just jiu-jitsu now, whereas I don't know, for most of us, we didn't. We started with a whole bunch of other things and then found jiu-jitsu and then moved to that and was like, oh, this is so much better than what I was doing. But yeah, you're purebred jiu-jitsu. Is that what you're saying?
I actually did like a few sports when I was younger, because like even when I was like like straight out of the room pretty much, apparently I was like, and my body was just like, I don't know, just gifted athletically or something like that. Like apparently I was a lot stronger than like most kids, like most newborns, something like that. So my parents always tried to put me in a sport, and then and I think jiu-jitsu was just like the one that stuck. So like I think we tried like everything. We tried like basketball, which probably I would not go pro in being 5'5", but basketball, soccer, bunch of other things I forgot, but just like everything under the sun. But then jiu-jitsu is just like the thing that stuck.
But no other martial arts. Like, you are all, as far as martial arts, all jiu-jitsu, right?
No, I did taekwondo for a little bit actually.
Oh, okay.
I was probably all for like 2 weeks though. That wasn't like
okay.
Well, yeah. If jiu-jitsu is the only thing that stuck consistently.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Awesome. And so you 5'5", and how much is rooster weight for guys? What's that weight class?
That's like 57.5 with the gi. So that's like
55 or so in without. Jeez.
Yeah.
So how did you go with that weight? Like I read some stuff that you had a lot more hair and you cut your hair. Yeah.
So just like I think what happened. So I'm pretty big for the weight class anyways. I'm about like, before I started cutting, I was about 64 kilos, and then I had to like drop the weight and everything. And basically, I think like a bunch of the sweat got caught in my hair, and that was like the only way I could lose it. Probably that's what I'm like hypothesizing at least. Just but like it was like I don't know how many kilos it was or how many grams it was, but it was like 0.2 pounds. That's how much my hair weighed, and that's like, that's what made the weight. I was like on the dot.
Wow. I'm just
Wow.
looking at 0.2 pounds in kilos. There we go.
Yeah, wow. That's huge.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's actually 0.2 pounds. 0.2 pounds would be, like 90 grams. 90 grams you had to cut from your head.
Yeah. I got the worst haircut also. I had like this little like bald patch over here. I'm not sure how it came about, but it was horrible.
But the rooster weights are awesome to watch. Like they're beautiful. They're the most probably movement of anyone. I think blue belt and purple belt especially get very active. They're still quite a lot more active. So how many fights did you have? How did you go?
I had 4 fights. All of them, like the actual fights weren't like all that hard, just because like if you're training at Unity every day, like you have literally the best guys in the world there, so like the comp doesn't really compare. But just the fights were like relatively easy. The hard part was like the weight cut in the training, that was like but the fights were just like easy, it was just like I just had to make sure no one scored on me and just did my game, made sure I made no stupid mistakes, and then I knew I would like win in that comp.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we even have a look at a couple of these, shall we?
Are you going to bring, Anton's just going to, for anybody that's listening rather than watching, he's just going to bring up on the screen, what was it he said? We're on the quarterfinals and the semifinals were probably the more exciting.
Now that's also a level up in Kim's professionalism. For those who are listening, not watching, like next level.
Hey, this is a big podcast, man. There's a lot of people out here listening. They're the silent listeners. They don't comment but when they see me in person, they tell me about it. So I know there's people out here listening. Come on. And we have done this before. We have successfully screen shared, and you've got the fight up on the screen. So
Isaiah Dixon, is that the quarters or
that's your opponent?
Yeah, that's semis.
We can go with that one.
Start with that one? Okay, cool. Let's have a look at that.
That one up.
Because
you've got a very new school game, I guess you'd say, Varun. Yeah, you love a berimbolo.
I do.
No issue to invert.
Yeah, just like for this comp actually, I was doing like way less berimbolos in training. I really wanted to just come up and pass for this one. But man, this was like the kid I was concerned about. I was like, okay, if there's someone who's going to beat me in this division, this kid was going to be it,
All right. And was your hair more like his just before the match and then it wasn't? Or
pardon?
Was your hair more like his just before the match and then it wasn't because you had to cut it off?
Pretty much. Yeah, so like I kind of fucked up at the start there. He got the good pull.
Yeah.
Over here. So so like I was just doing like this little mount pass I do from from underhook Delhi Heaver. So this kid over here, he made a mistake. He went for an overhook but didn't have a frame. He just started hugging both of my legs, and I just started like cross facing him.
Yeah.
And with that left hand over the top, I was just making sure to hug it. The main thing I was worried about is because like in training, I had been triangled by trying to do this move. So I was just like making sure that I was covering the shin so that he couldn't go for a triangle. I wasn't sure. I was trying to get the pass, and I was trying to like milk that crossface as much as I could, but just like I didn't feel like I was getting it at that stage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no real pressure here from you. Oh no, there is pressure there. Oh yeah.
I think the kid was just like, I think he realized the nature of the position because he was holding that lasso there, and just like it's virtually impossible to pass deep lasso to the opposite side of the lasso.
Yeah.
So over here I was just like trying to hold him there. I think I eventually backstepped out, but then he just kind of shook me off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've got a very technical breakdown of your own game, man. You must talk jiu-jitsu a lot. Because it's impressive to hear you talk through your own match here.
I just try and be aware of everything that I'm doing, because otherwise, like, I have like a massive like insecurity issue when it comes to competitions. Okay. So I'm just like, I can't lose, and then just like that makes me like have to study everything.
Yeah, and who do you?
We all have that insecurity about competing, though. Yeah, like talk to us a little bit about that as well. Sorry to interrupt, Anton. Like, you've obviously competed at the highest level, and you've won at the highest level too. Like what is it like, the nerves and the adrenaline and stuff like that in this moment?
There wasn't like much nerves or like I guess there was a little bit of adrenaline, but like it was just like I don't know how you explain. I was just making sure that I didn't fuck up. That was like all that was going through my head. It was like, don't fuck up, don't fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like okay, do not give anything. Like I'm not letting them get one single I'm not letting them get one single good grip on me. I'm not gonna let them get like a good position on me. I'm gonna make sure they have a counter to every position they have, and just like that's like what you work through the training, you know.
So
I
you
think by the time,
so you're not trying to be
I think-
kind of creative in that situation, then, are you? Because you're really just trying not to fuck up. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? Like, you
yeah,
don't-
like for me, I'm like one of the less creative people. Like I'll just do what's like what I've seen as being working. So like I don't like play around with like fancy things in training or whatever. I just do stuff that I've seen work, and I just do that and just try and improve it a little bit. But I don't ever really try like any new or creative stuff. That's just for me personally. Like you get other people like other people at the gym, they do like I don't know, they really
Margot, what you meaning?
yeah, like Margot, yeah, she's
Yep.
really creative and just
Yep.
like whereas like I'm just not like that, you know. So it's just like yeah, I was just making sure that like I just didn't make any mistakes and I was just doing stuff that worked. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of why I was able to. I only really focus on things that I've seen work before, and then I just do that.
But won you a championship, man. So that's definitely good advice for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also a personality thing. Like if you have something creative and it works, then like you know, keep doing that, right? Like there's like Margot, she makes her stuff work, and she was showing me some new stuff that I haven't played around with before, but it was working really well. So yeah. Oh yeah, so over there, that was like the throw by. I was solid that for like fucking hours every day in Sydney.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and like that sweep, I watched that kid. I was like, okay, there's gonna be like a sweep this kid is getting me with. It's gonna be this sweep, and like that lasso in the middle between the legs, and I was like, oh fuck, like if he gets this on me, like I knew I'd be able to like sweep him and take his back, but I just didn't want to give anything.
Yeah.
So like I'd make sure to I was like so aware about that sweep. But it's like honestly, this kid made more mistakes than I expected him to. Like just like the position, like sometimes he holds his lasso in spots that aren't so great sometimes. So
right.
Yeah, no, he made like a few mistakes, and honestly, I wasn't expecting that. I was like expecting having to be a lot more aggressive, but he was just kind of making the mistakes for me, so I could like hang back a little bit.
Yeah. And what would you say, like, as far as just with your style, are you likely to make, like, I'm likely to make my biggest mistakes early because my heart's racing, my adrenaline's pumping, and I'm just not really present yet. But like with your style, are you likely to make mistakes later in the match or earlier in the match? How do you play it? How does it work?
Honestly, it's quite like even throughout the whole match. Like my whole like game is very consistent. Like it isn't like it excels at one point in the match or the other, you know. Like if I turn it up, then probably I'm gonna make more mistakes, but I'm also gonna be more aggressive. So then like I mean that can happen, but like I try and make sure there's just like no mistakes overall, right? Because like one mistake is what's gonna cost you a match, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like it's round robin, so you can't just like make it back.
Sure. Okay, let's check this part out. Looks like there's a lot of action about to happen.
Oh yeah, this one. I was so happy that I
So
hit
close to that pass there. It's just he's got that.
There it
He was
is.
like weirdly
Oh
strong.
no, here we go. Here we go. Oh yeah.
Did you
I
get
should have chased it back a little more, but I think I chilled it because like I knew I'd got the advantage, and like I knew no rooster weight is ever passing my guard, so it's like he's kind of like
to this point? Cool.
yeah. I was just stalling at this stage. I was just holding double sleeves and just being like, nah, just nothing.
Have you got any? I don't know if we should encourage this sort of advice for like, are you ever worried about being penalised for stalling? Because at Boa over the weekend, one of the opponents was disqualified for stalling. So it's a fine line, between stalling.
Like stalling for me is just like not making any mistakes, not chasing too much. It doesn't necessarily mean not moving or not progressing. It just means like just not I feel like if you're just trying to hold, then that's when they can get ahead of you. So I always try and do something, but I'm just not like being extra aggressive, you know. I'm just gonna take what's given to me. Like over here I was stalling, but like I still like shot the triangle, you know.
Okay.
So that's because like the kid gave it to me, and like I guess the only clear moment of stalling of like actually just holding something was just like he had me in the triangle. I mean I had him in the triangle and I was just like holding it. You know?
We're about to get to that part now. It looks like an amazing transition. Let's check this out and talk us through it.
Yeah, he made a mistake. His elbows were a little too wide.
Oi.
But I think also like what do you call it? I had a little bit of a strength advantage.
Yeah.
So so like it was kind of easy to shoot it. Yeah, and then over here, like even though I'm still stalling over here, I'm still making like little adjustments every part of the transition. You know, it's like he eventually just kind of like broke and knew it wasn't going to kind of pan out for him. So like, you know, he kept on trying, but it was kind of like half-hearted.
Yeah. Wow.
But he would have been getting desperate here though, yeah, because he's only got 30, 20 seconds. He needs the pass.
Yeah,
Whereas I guess you
Yeah.
can kind of chill a little bit. You've got yours.
yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was hard for him because like he wasn't like super strong either.
Well,
It's
not
like,
many roosters would be, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
57
no,
kilos.
rooster
So.
weights are like the difference between rooster and light feather is like ridiculous. Like I remember rolling a Pato, like and he's just like that dude is a freak. Like physically, I'm like, what the fuck, you know? But like but like rooster weights, they're just like kind of like little children in a way.
Yeah.
Like they're just like I don't know, they're just not strong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, that kind of helps.
Let me get up the next one here. Let's do this.
Well, we've got all of Anton's other
The
personal
few-
messages there for everybody.
I don't have that many secrets.
While Anton brings that up, Varun, tell us about training at Unity because it is renowned, you know, of just how hard is it? Like, tell us what a typical training session would be.
So like what do you call it? So generally the first 2 days for this camp, it was like the first, like really changes it up all the time. But the first 2 days of the camp were like explosive days. So like every first 2 days of the week, it's like, okay, we're going to do 2 explosive days. He would get you doing a lot of takedowns, a lot of single leg situationals. A lot of single leg situationals. What else? And just like hard rolls, you know, he would like tell you to like push, like to make yourself as fatigued as possible, you know? And then the last 2 days, so like Wednesday and Thursdays, that was a little more chill and a little more technical. Sometimes he'll just like tell you to like roll light on Thursdays because like you're just so dead from the week. So he'll tell you to roll light and then like, you know, just like work on worst parts of your game. Don't like not necessarily don't take the training too seriously, but don't like go like balls to the walls, you know? So so yeah, that was that was like what do you call it? That was pretty much it. And then you know you also have your night classes, which is like technique, and then like I made sure to roll basically with like only like women and small men for like for like the whole part. I mean that was pretty much my whole camp. But like yeah, for pro training I'd roll with like all the like with all like the guys that like my hardest rolls, and then at night it was like was rolling with more like weaker people and just like people that weren't like trying to kill me every round.
Yeah, smart training basically. Yeah, because it's just too easy to go balls to the wall, and then you just stop developing. You stop kind of recovery. All those things.
Oh man, there was no recovery over there. It was just death.
Yeah.
So you got a takedown there. You got 2 points for the takedown. He pulled guard and he grabbed his leg.
That was like an early guard pull. So just like So just like I'm a lot more athletic than this kid. So like so I knew I'd be able to like to get the pull a little bit, and I knew I could bully him around a little. So so yeah, and then I went into my knee cut. I should have I fucked up actually for Worlds. Like for some reason my knee cuts at Jiu-Jitsu.com were way better, but I fixed up some of the details there. But yeah, all my knee cuts at Worlds are just fucking shit. So but yeah, I was able to fix it up afterwards. But yeah, this kid got a lot better because I think I kind of bashed him at Jiu-Jitsu-Con. So just like so I had to like he made the adjustments obviously and like changed up his game a little bit. I could feel it.
All right.
I was also really, really dehydrated during this match because I hadn't drank any water yet, and I already had one fight. So so just like I wasn't able to like perform my best, but it was all right. Got like the win and everything. I was just making sure that he wasn't going to be able to like triangle me over here. And so I was trying to go for like the double unders off of like him taking out his spider or his lasso, and I don't mind giving the Delahiva because that's one of my better passing positions.
So you're probably an exception in that you're a rooster that's happy to have your opponent pull guard.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want them to get a clean pull. I won't be like too mad, but yeah, I like playing on top. I think it's like I think it's like cooler, you know.
Yeah,
just
for a small
like, if you
person,
can
it's
pass,
not common. Yeah.
yeah, if you can like pass guard or wrist weight, it's like okay, like this guy just does not care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And what's next? Like now that you've achieved this, what's next?
I guess purple belt, right?
Yeah.
Like yes, just do that, and then all the way through to black, or just like just gonna like figure the stuff, not necessarily figure it out, but like just like do all that and just keep competing, do the jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, so over here, like this kid, like he kind of he like went for like a worm guard entry, and I like had to give him the 50-50 a little bit so I could like pass from there, and then I eventually went for the bolo.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
I tried to do like a worm, like a crab ride counter to his worm guard. The crab ride counter didn't fully work out, but it allowed me to like loosen up a little bit. And then as he tried to switch to 50, I dived for a crab ride on him. And then over here, I was just like so gassed that like I really should have finished the back take or the crab or the leg drag by now. But just I think I was just like concerned about not giving the points, and also like my muscles weren't fully working because I was pretty dehydrated.
Mm.
And I hadn't had my Barocca yet, so I was just kind of that was just like I wasn't like fully in it.
What's this about Barocca, man? Do you take a Barocca in between matches? Is that your little
Oh,
secret?
dude, I'm telling you, Barocca is like it's a hack.
Yeah, right.
It's like
All right.
the reason.
The hacks. I
You
love it.
heard it here first, people.
Yeah, what else do you got, Varun? Give us the hacks, man.
I hope no one steals that trick because it's honestly half the reason for me winning.
Well, what do you see as like, like purple belts next, but what will be the difference? I mean, you already roll like an absolute weapon. So what is going to make the difference in rooster sized matches in purple belt?
Probably the guys are stronger because they're older. What else do you call it? And just like they're a lot more keen to like tactics over there, whereas like a lot of the blue belts are just kind of like they don't have like a full game just yet, whereas like a lot of the purple belts do.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like
Okay.
I was like kind of I'm like kind of one of those people that didn't want to like I like try and make sure I have everything sorted in training and don't like use the competition to test my skills. Like the competition is to win, and just like in training I just try and figure out all the problems and then compete. So
even that's fucking gold, because I go to competitions to test my skills, and I've just got that's stupid. Like it really isn't. It's not the way to compete.
It's not necessarily that's like for my purpose. Like for me, like it's all about winning. It isn't necessarily about like having fun or whatever. So just like the fun is like after the comp. That's like when you like celebrate the win or whatever. But like if you're just doing it for like a hobby or whatever, I think it's a really good way to like kind of understand. It's like one of the few times you get to film your jiu-jitsu too. So just like so like you can just kind of like see your mistakes and then you can develop that. But like like training for me is just like a job. So it's a little different. You don't have to like go out there and like try and like murder everyone if you got like another job, or like it's like a different situation, because I got all the time in the world to like dedicate to like perfecting the craft from like the gym, whereas like if you have like a regular job or something, you don't really.
How do you do that? How are you managing that?
Like just training in the gym.
How are you managing living the rest of your, like dedicating yourself to jiu-jitsu? Like how does one financially do that? How does one,
I have a helpful financial source called parents.
Oh, great. They're amazing.
So that's pretty much it. Like parents and sponsors and things are like, I'm not exactly making millions out here, it's jiu-jitsu is kind of like, what do you call it? It's kind of like an apprenticeship. Like you don't make money for the first few years and then suddenly you actually start making money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it just sucks because making money in jiu-jitsu is like 20 grand a year, which is not much at all.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Like most guys, they all have some kind of help. If you're doing jiu-jitsu full time, like no one is self-made in jiu-jitsu. Everyone has like someone helping them out, like a friend, a sponsor, family, coach. It's not it's impossible to be self-made.
You recently ran a seminar, your first seminar.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
That was really fun. It was just like everyone there was just like really cool. Everyone was really keen to learn jiu-jitsu, and just like it was kind of nice, like giving back a little bit. Because like with jiu-jitsu, it's a lot of taking, and like you kind of like, I don't know about other people, I kind of feel bad just like always like asking for stuff all the time, like it's kind of like I don't know, but like it was kind of nice just to like give back a little bit and like help people, and I know that stuff is going to help them for like the rest of their jiu-jitsu, you know, even if they like if they just do those few things that I taught them, like it's gonna help their jiu-jitsu. I make sure to like give them stuff they can use for the rest of their jiu-jitsu, you know, like from white all the way to black, and like it's still gonna help them, but like, you know, it's like it was like rewarding. You know, it's good to help people out, and you know, it's just like 3 hours of your day or 3 hours of your week, really. So it's like there's not much at all, but you can help people a lot.
You talked about not murdering people, but you pretty much have murdered this guy, like 9-0.
Yeah.
With 6 advantages. Like, are you happy with that, or do you still look at that and think, oh no, look, I still made mistakes. There's more that I could have done.
I still made mistakes, but I'm not like someone to beat myself up. I don't really beat myself up over jiu-jitsu all that much. Like
he's beating himself up. Look at him. Oh my god.
He was, yeah.
No, he's the meows boy.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's like so like, you know, there's like like obviously people from Unity wanted me to beat him, but I think like because the first time I fought him, I beat him like 18-0, and then this time was like 9-0.
Well, he's improved by twice as much.
Yeah, but it was kind of rough for him.
Wow.
I have heard as well that like competitive level blue belts, like at your level, are pretty much on par with hobbyist black belts. Like, what would you say to that? Do you agree with that statement?
I'd say probably like most of them are like a lot better most of the time, just because like you're thinking about someone that does it like full time. Like for me, I train like 35 to like 40 hours a week. You know, it's legitimately a full time job. So just like so there's like, you know, it's like you can't compare the two. It's like just like apples and oranges, right? Like someone who does it for a hobby, they do it for like that, a hobby. But just like
that's me and Anton, that's us. Yeah. We're the hobbyists, so
but like you can't really compare the two. I think it's just like it doesn't help to like, what do you call it? It doesn't help to take away from either one of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, like, that's a good way to look at it too. Yeah, I like that.
It's like you know, like someone who, like they still committed 10 years of their life to it. You know.
Yeah.
Like it's like
look at these hands, man. Look.
Exactly, right?
I just want an excuse to show my hands.
They're so good.
Sorry, I respect it. Yeah, it's like it's what do you call it? It's like they each deserve their like what do you call it? Their respect or whatever you want to call it in like a different way, you know? Like, but just don't compare the two. It's like two different things. It's like like someone does it for like someone does it as a professional and someone does it for fun, but it's like how many people are committing themselves to something that's fun, not making them any money, like just for the enjoyment, you know? That's really, really cool. And then someone who's professional, obviously they're just like they're professional, so it's like cool. You get to see like world level jiu-jitsu, and you get to roll with world level jiu-jitsu guys at comps and things.
Yeah. And what about with selecting competitions? Like a lot of the people, and like let's say Lachlan Giles does tend to compete quite a lot, even in the local scene. Like he'll do pan packs and all of those sorts of things, but maybe he doesn't anymore. But like it seems like people get to a certain point and then they go, "I'm beyond the local scene," you know, but not in a condescending way. It's just not worth their time. They've fought everybody. They know where they stand, and it's just a decision that they make or not make. But what with you? What do you just compete in everything you can, or are you selective about what you compete in now?
I just compete. Like I'm just like, I feel like doing a competition, I'll do it. You know, like it's not some massive process that I go through, but like also like, you know, like it also helps in things like if like it's also for financial reasons. So I want to sell seminars. Like I don't like, I'm not competing in local comps to like fuel my ego. You know, that's why like you do worlds or something, right? So like but what do you call it? Like the local comps are just like it's like get the test like the skill of competing. That's like and getting used to like what do you call it? Just going through like a competition day and things, and like you're gonna experience some things that aren't like so comfortable in competition day and like are out of your routine. That's like learning how to do those things, and then also like you get to sell seminar like with the highlights and things. You get to like sell seminars and things, and you know people will hit you up for private lessons. So it's more like financial and like testing competition skills rather than like, oh, I've really got to win this local comp. You know, it's like I feel like Lucky Giles has gotten to that point where like he doesn't really. He's like competed a lot already, and he's reached that point, and he's also making a ton of money, so he doesn't really feel the need to.
Cool.
You said you train like 35, 40 hours a week. Is that all just jiu-jitsu on the mats, or do you do any supplementary training? What else?
Yeah, so like what do you call it? It's like I lift 3 days a week, and I do so when I'm in Sydney, I lift 3 days a week, and I do mobility 2 times a week. So that's like 5 hours of the week. And then what do you call it? In New York, I just do like was starting to lift towards the end of my trip over there, just because it was like getting ready for the new season and everything. But over there, I was doing only jiu-jitsu. But I think this year I'm probably going to lift a little more over there. I'll just do all the I'll probably just end up training more because I'll just do all the jiu-jitsu and lifting, and then just try and get like mad strong for like all the upper belts and everything because they're all older than me.
And what does game day look like for you? Like when it's match day, what's your ritual? What's your preparation? How does that look?
To be honest, I don't really have anything. I'm just like, yeah, I just walk into the comp, I just like basically just stroll into the mat. Like it's not some massive process for me. It's just I show up to the comp. The most I do is like in the warm up area, I just do like one stretch for like the entire time and drink my Barocca. But other than that, I'm just like talking shit with my mates or just like, just checking Instagram. Like I'm not really like, I'm intense, but I'm not like, I'm not, what do you call it? I'm not like full Marigali, where I'm just like, I'm in the zone, but like I'm quiet and I'm just focused. I'm just chilling, like I'm just like, I'm not one of those people that gets hyped up or calm down. I try and stay like very centered. So that's like what it is. Just like for every yeah. Oh no, go on.
Sorry, no. I was just going to say, do you train just in the gi, or what's your opinion of no gi?
In New York, I get bullied into doing nogi by Marullo. Not by choice. I just don't like nogi, and so I don't do it when I'm back in Sydney when I have more control over my schedule. But yeah, Marullo gets me doing a little bit of nogi. There is a little bit of crossover, and like there's some benefit to it, but I just don't like it, so I just don't do it when the option's up to me.
Do you think that's from being smaller and having a game that relies more on grips and stuff, or?
No, it's just flat out don't like it. Like some people just don't like the taste of like cheese, so they don't eat cheese. It's basically like that.
And if that size, Mikhail would not put on a gi and would not do no gi, and I think he prefers no gi. So
yeah,
I think it's but it's interesting though because very rarely do we have people on the show who kind of specialize in one or the other. Like sometimes we do, but very rarely.
Yeah, we did. We had Adam Jones.
Yeah, but not specializing in the gi, not in no gi. Most people, if they're going to specialize, they go no gi. But you've got
especially now, it's like that's the future, is what they're saying. Do you agree with that, or what do you think the gi stands in the future of jiu-jitsu?
I mean, still the majority of like jiu-jitsu players are in the gi, but like I think it's just like the only thing that's happened is like I've actually spoken to a bunch of my friends about this. I think the thing that's happened is that Nogi has more characters. So just like you have people like that can make a lot of noise, like Gordon, Craig, and all those guys. I feel like if we just had more of that in the gi, then it would be just as popular.
You're a character, man. Make no mistake about it. So you're leading the charge, brother.
Yes, leading the way. But
you do have a bit of a reputation as being a bit of a troll online, if you don't mind me saying. That's actually what brought you to my attention. I was like, who is this guy? He's like, he's got a mouth on him, this one. So yeah, you don't mind.
That's like every like teenager or 20-year-old, right? Like bringing the internet memes back to jiu-jitsu. It's all just old people now. So
I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what about outside of jiu-jitsu? I mean, obviously you're spending a lot of time doing jiu-jitsu, 30, 40 hours a week. What do you do outside for free time for hobby?
So I'm learning to like do a little bit of like learning is keyword, but learning a little bit of computer science at the moment. What do you call it? I like drinking and partying a lot, but that doesn't help with jiu-jitsu. I mean, as every 20-year-old, right? But that's pretty much it. I just like going out and like just like going out to bars and things with my friends. I'm a big foodie, so I like doing that. Starting to go see museums and stuff. I just do like a bunch of touristy shit. That's like I just try and be a tourist wherever I go. Like even in Sydney, I just like go out and like check out sites and museums and things and like try out different food spots. But yeah.
That's brilliant.
As a rooster, like having cut to rooster, and then how big was the bounce back? Like, do you mind if I ask? Like, what weight did you go back to?
I got like solid skinny fat. It was like I went from 57.5 with the gi. I went to 68 without the gi. That was like the biggest I've ever been. It was horrible. I was ashamed of myself looking in the mirror.
I think all of us from the pandemic have got a similar experience, not necessarily from a weight cut for Worlds, but there's been a lot of weight gained.
I remember it coming out of the pandemic and just like, so I hadn't trained in a while. They opened up the gyms and everything. I was like, I'm a mess.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, what have I done to myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
great.
We are
been
nearly out of time here, so we should probably look at winding it up. Hey, but any parting words, any shout outs you want to give or anything like that to anyone?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me. Shout out to Unity Jiu-Jitsu, all my friends at the Secret Kumite, like Westside and Sydney Wrestling. Who else? Suave Kimonos, of course, wear the tape. That's pretty much it. Thank you to you guys for having me again. And yeah, it's been chill.
Yeah, it has.
Really
Yeah,
fun.
no, anytime. We are really looking forward to watching your future and your progression because, yeah, you've been a name. I guess you've been around on the Australian scene for a little while. So it's just so exciting to see you bust out onto the international circuit. And yeah, as I said, everyone that's listening, look out for this guy. Varun's going to be there, I think, at the next Worlds as well, and all the other big comps. So yeah, keep an eye out and come.
And
Yeah,
we could be
that's it.
your BJJ grandparents, like, and you can be our little grandkid, and you can keep coming on the show and
I
updating.
think just parents for now, Anton. Come on, man. We're not that old. Jeez. Take it easy. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm trying to say, come back on the show and update us
Yeah.
as you go.
Yes. Yeah. Let's have you on. So yeah, we'll have this out in a week or two. If you could share it on your platforms, that would be awesome for us because I'm sure you've got a really big audience, and we would love to grow our audience. So yeah, any help we can get is really appreciated. Thank you.
That sounds great.
Cheers, Varun. Peace, man.
Awesome.
See you later.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Catch you guys later.
See ya.
All right?
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.